Give everyone at your next event a super awesome mix with our mixtape cards. Each one comes with a personalized message and photo along with a QR code that takes them to your mix on whatever streaming service they use: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or YouTube. They're perfect for birthdays, weddings, graduations, and even holiday cards. Go to superawesomemix.com/mixtapes and bring back the magic of the mixtape at your next special occasion. Welcome back to another Super Awesome Mix. My name is Matt Sidholm, alongside my co-host and co-founder of Super Awesome Mix, Sam Abusalbi. Sam, how are we doing this week?
I am doing really well. We got another new music mix brewing, and as I texted you earlier, I think this is one of my favorite ones we've done in a long time. There are some surprising picks here, even songs I didn't think I would like that I ended up really liking. It was great.
Well, and I was pretty impressed with us, if I can be so bold,
Sure.
because we really run the gamut on this one with different genres. I was kind of like, wow, this is all over the place. So I think if you're really in the mood for some new music, and you're kind of one of those people like us who likes a little bit of everything, I think this is going to meet your needs this month.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're missing like death metal, so if you're looking forward to some of that, that's not on this mix. But there are some.
I tell you what, we should. It would be interesting. Like, what's been the most underrepresented genre on this show, and that's got to be one of them. I think that probably reggae.
Right. Yes. Yep.
We could probably do a ska mix. I think I can get into that, but I don't think we've done a lot of ska.
Yeah, I could get down for some ska.
So. Like blues and jazz, we don't do much of that either. Anyway, okay, so maybe it's not for everyone. Okay. It's a podcast for most, not all.
For most, not all. I love that. Most of you are welcome. This would be a really good tagline for a company, a very honest tagline. Or like a country club, something that historically has not really been very welcoming, A country club for most of you.
Yes, a tradition most of us can be proud of. That would be their tagline. That would be their tagline of that country club. Yeah, upholding traditions many of you might be proud of.
I love that. I was just going to say another reminder that we still own superawesomemarketing.com. So reach out if you need some marketing help. We're here to help you.
Let us know. You just heard a couple great ideas right there.
All right. Well, let's get into the mix. This time we're going to lead off with your first pick, and it is Hands of Time by Eric Church.
Yeah, Eric Church is a country artist. He's a little bit rock and roll at the same time. Like, this one's got kind of a rock feel to it, I think. But then his voice comes in, and I was a little fearful of it because he's got some twang in his voice. So I was like, is he going to hate this? But I think it's a really well written song. I like it when artists will mix in song titles that aren't designed to go together. And I thought this was interesting. Like, sure, it's just a group of words and you can kind of put any of those together. But at the same time, if you could put them together thematically too, I think that also is a challenge. So I think he does a really good job of all of that in this one. And, this one's kind of about letting music, it's about music and memories. And I just thought not only was it a great song to listen to, but it's kind of perfect for this show because we talk all the time about how music invokes memories and feelings.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is one of the ones that was surprising for me because when I first started listening to it, I was like, oh no, this is like a 4 out of 10 on my Olympic score. But then as I kept going and I listened to the lyrics and I loved the chorus, I was like, okay, I'm actually going to give this one like a 6 out of 10. Like, this is a solid song. And I love the lyrics that he sings here, which is like, we ain't as young as we used to be, but young at heart is so easy when you let some loud guitars and words and rhymes handle the hands of time. And I completely agree. Like, music can keep you youthful. It can keep you energetic. Like, it's a really fun way to experience or to help you experience life, through all its ups and downs. So really, really liked it. So yes, 6 out of 10 on this one. This was a surprising pick for me.
really proud of myself right now,
You should
because I
be.
really did. I was like, once I got into it, I was like, oh, I think you might like it though. But it's twangy. It is
Yes.
twangy. All right, your first pick. It is "Catch These Fists" by Wet Leg.
Yeah, I am so excited for their new album. It's coming out. I've been waiting for it really since their first album because I still listen to their first album. So many great songs off of it. And I'm certainly I imagine I'm going to have this next one on repeat as well because this sounds like more of the same stuff that they're great at, right? Just really kind of funny, humorous lyrics here, sung in a great poppy, alt way. Lyrics here like some guy comes up, says I'm his type. I just threw up in my mouth when he tried to ask me out. Um, I think very relatable lyrics to some people, right? Like I think that that's what's so fun. They're great. She said that this song is about the recurring real life nightmare of just people invading your space. And I think that's universal. Sometimes you're just like, please leave me alone. I just want my space.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I was just like, this is not at all like a love song, right? Like
Yeah.
it's polar opposite. Like, I don't want your love. I just want to fight. Like is one of the lines on the song.
Yes.
I just really, I thought it was funny, but I thought it was really well done too. Like it's a good like rock song as well. And so, yeah, really excited. You had introduced me to these guys with their first album, so excited to see what they come with in their sophomore effort. Because as we've learned, sometimes that can be a letdown.
Right. Yes, exactly. As someone once said, and I think I've mentioned this on the podcast, it's like you spend your entire life reaching your first album, and then you spend 6 months getting your second one. So,
That's right.
all right. Well, speaking about bands that I'm pretty sure have been around the block many, many times, this is Never Know by The Cooks.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe my birthday had an effect on me because I picked Hands of Time and then I picked this one, which is kind of about how you never know when it's all going to stop. And
Right.
so I don't know. As I was like listening back, I was like, I don't know. Maybe that did have an effect on me. But yeah, the Kooks are a British rock indie rock band. This is their seventh album, and it's titled Never/No. So this is kind of the title track. They've had some different members come in and out of the band, but Luke Pritchard and Hugh Harris have been with the band throughout. They're kind of like a Brit pop group with a little bit of an edge, I think is the best way to describe them. So if you like Brit pop, I feel like you're going to get into this, but it's borderline just full on rock, I think, or kind of alt rock a little bit. So I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't quite place the genre on this, but I really like this song and I enjoyed their newest album.
Yeah, I really liked this one. They reminded me, I guess they could be like the British Phoenix, because Phoenix is originally from France,
Mm.
but it definitely gives me Phoenix vibes. And I loved the lyrics. I agree with you. I think that that's kind of spot on there. Could be definitely related to your birthday because, the lyrics here that I really want to call out are let's do all the things we want to do because you never, never, never know when it's going to stop. And I completely agree with that, right? It's just a reminder to be present and to enjoy life because you just don't know when it's going to change. So great song.
All right, your next pick, and I was very close to picking this one for my mix. This is Everybody's Trying to Figure Me Out by Haim.
Yes, good old Haim, the band that we always mention. We're like, oh my God, Haim, they're so great. We're definitely going to listen to them. And then we forget to listen to them. So here I am listening to them. I'm happy that one of us picked it, same as you. New album coming out soon. This is actually probably one of my favorite Haim songs I've heard. Full stop. Like across everything that they've done, I just think there's so much heart in it. Like it just feels very real. She mentioned that this was kind of she's struggling with a panic attack, which is why the song says like you think you're going to die but you're not going to die. It's like panic attacks are very, very scary. You do genuinely think you're like having a heart attack or you're close to death, and your brain has run away with an idea and you're struggling to kind of get grounded again, that no, you are safe, you're okay. And all of that. It can be a very scary experience if you've not had one before. And if you have, you certainly know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think that this is just a very powerful song because she's writing from an experience, a very real experience that many people suffer from. So thing that comes out, and I just really, really enjoy the sound of it. I'm excited for their new album.
Yeah, I liked this one because it was such a departure from what we normally get from them. There's not the harmonies here amongst the sisters that I think you probably used to if you've listened to a lot of Haim. This one felt a little bit like Weezer, like in that it was about to kind of kick in at any point. It reminded me, I think, of Say It Ain't So.
Yeah.
The way it kind of built a little bit and then kind of pulled back, but just a great job of expressing frustration. And so, I like this one. Didn't quite get into my top 6, but I'm glad you put it on yours.
Awesome. All right. This is another one that was kind of surprising for me, one that I ended up really liking. Your next pick, track 5, it is Giver/Taker. This is the Apple Music session by Phineas and Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, so this Apple Music session, I guess, belongs to Phineas, right? I guess he just did one of these. And this is a Casey Musgraves song that was on her last album, which is not a duet normally. So, if you go back and listen to her album just from last year, it's just her singing this. But here we get Phineas helping her out. And it's kind of an acoustic version of the song, although the real song is not like too, hardcore electric guitar or anything like that. But it's certainly not as stripped down as this one. For Phineas, obviously known a lot for his songwriting, and he's got a pretty good solo career. We've featured him on the show before. I think what stood out the most to me was he's got a really good singing voice, which I think is an odd thing to say about a professional musician, but I think it kind of gets highlighted here, and even harder to highlight that when you're singing next to Casey Musgraves, who's got such an amazing voice. So I love this song. I love the lyrics to it and everything, but just the way they put it together and harmonize, it's really well done.
Yeah, this was literally one of those ones where I kind of did a double take of like, wait, this is the Phineas of like Phineas and, Billie Eilish, like, because he sounds great, like he has a really, really good song. He holds his own against Casey Musgraves, which, as you said, is a very difficult thing to do because her voice is beautiful. And she's definitely one of my favorite voices in country music right now. So I really enjoyed this track. I thought it was a very heartfelt song. It's a very honest and open one. And I think their duet, like doing it as a duet, actually works really, really well. I think probably even better than just having this be like a solo song. So I thought it was great, and I really like it. It's cool that we're getting kind of almost like, it reminds me of like the today's modern version of Unplugged. Getting these like Apple Music sessions together and getting these artists in a room to just kind of go off guitar and voice only. It's cool. I think there's some really interesting things that have come out of that.
Yeah, that's a great call, and great call on the duet part because, like you said, the title is Giver/Taker, and that is a big part of the lyrics. And so I think getting two voices on there almost highlights that more.
Yeah.
So yeah, really well done. All right, track 6, we're at the halfway point. This is your pick. It is Starry Eyed by Good Neighbors.
Yeah, this one is just honestly just like a classic alt rock track. It's kind of bait for me from the opening notes. Like I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I want to listen to it. Has a great catchy chorus. It's just has this kind of fun, bright, airy feel to it. So this is just one of those ones where kind of clicking around trying to find new music. I had not really listened to Good Neighbors before, and happy that I clicked play on this one because I really liked it, and I've listened to it a number of times now and have just enjoyed it. So if you like alt rock, I probably tend to lean on that most. If we wanted to talk about overrepresented genres on the show, that's my bad. So this is just another one in the very long list of songs I've picked from that genre. So I like it. It's a great entrant.
These guys reminded me of someone, but I could not for the life of me put my finger on it. And maybe you're right. Maybe it is just like alt rock, right? But I was really doing some research to try to figure out what the association was in my head, but it was a positive one because I did like this song. But I kept thinking like, oh, I know, then they must have come out with something else. And I just didn't know it was Good Neighbors. But then I'm like going and listening to their other tracks, and I was like, I don't know any of these songs. So yeah, I mean, well done, well done by them to kind of do that to me. But I did like the line, I like your name between my teeth.
Yes.
I thought that was really, really good. And so it's a good song, good lyrics. And trust me, if you're into that genre, I think this is going to be just perfect for you and you're going to just like it immediately. Now, Sam, before we go any further, I want to tell you about our friends at skinnymixes.com. You can get just about any flavor for your coffee, tea, soda, snow cones, or whatever mixed drink you're drinking. And the best part is they are all sugar free. Right now, you could save 10% with the promo code super awesome. That is skinnymixes.com.
All right, this next track is one that I also had to do another double take on because I thought this was one of my picks. And I was really shocked that it would be something that you picked because I loved it, loved it, loved it. And it's not a genre, as you mentioned at the top of this mix, that you normally go to. So this is Deepest by Orbital and Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like you, I'll just kind of pop around and look for like new music, right? When I'm searching for this. And when I started this one, it's like a 6.5 minute track. And I thought I just clicked on the wrong thing and this was from some sort of meditation app
Right.
because that's really what it sounds like.
Yes.
And then I realized, like, wait a minute, I don't think this is from a meditation app. And then I thought for sure you would have this on your list, which is why I tried to get my songs to you first because I wanted to grab
You
this
wanted
one.
to claim it.
But Orbital is they're an electronic duo and they've been around forever. This is actually a remix of like this song Deepest came out in 1989 and they remixed it and they brought on Tilda Swinton, who is the actress. That is, if that name sounds familiar, actress Tilda Swinton. She's got an amazing voice and she's not even singing here. She's just talking over this track. But yeah, at first I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm into this. But then the more it went on, I was like, I think I really like this. It was just a really good combination where honestly, it could just make you relax and put you in sort of a meditative state, or it could kind of get you going a little bit too, right? Because they do bring in a pretty strong beat at a certain point. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised I like this as much as I did. But yeah, wanted to include it.
No, this was so interesting, and I think what I really liked about it is usually whenever you have like a name like a Tilda Swinton, who's a very successful actress, has been doing it for many many years, and you feature them on a track like this, you think like, oh, they're just going to do like the opening lines, right? And that's kind of what I was expecting. It's like she's just going to open the track up, and then it's just going to be like an EDM track after it. But she sticks around for the full 6 minutes, right? Like it really is like a guided meditation. And you're right, it can take you in one of two ways. You can listen to her words and feel actually pretty relaxed, or you can kind of let yourself drop into that beat and just get into like a groove and just keep going. So I loved this track. I think it can be one of those two ways, however you want to listen to it, but I'm obsessed with it. I like listened to every second of it and then played it again because I loved it so much. So well done.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, even I've gone back, and again, like you said, this is not a genre I go to very often, but even I've gone back and listened to it, and it's really well done. All right, track 8. You've got "Baby Girl" by the Black Keys.
Yeah, Black Keys, of course, is also on my list of bands that whenever they're going to release new music, I'm going to feature them. Same as like if Bruce releases a new album, or Counting Crows for you. So these are my Counting Crows, the Black Keys. And so yes, they got some new music. I love the direction that they've been going in lately. This one's just super catchy. Really, really like this. Great little groovy opening, if you will. And of course, they are also just masters at piano. They always feature like piano really strongly in their tracks. So I really, really like the song. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about the Black Keys that I haven't already talked to death about. So just wanted to throw this one on here because I'm always excited for new music from them.
So this one has such a great like reminded me of sort of soul songs, funk and soul songs from like the 1970s. And that's kind of what the Black Keys do. They do a lot of that type of stuff, but I kind of connected it to an offshoot of the E Street Band, Southside Johnny, who's a big like anybody from that Asbury Park, New Jersey area like knows Southside Johnny, and like that is I feel like there's a little bit of a through line between him and what the Black Keys are doing here. So I really enjoyed it. And, Sam, as a result, if you went back and listened to that or listened to some of the early Bruce stuff, I think you'd probably find that connection as well. You might enjoy it. But no, I loved how true they stay to that kind of world and all the instruments, everything just works really well together. So yeah, loved it.
Nice. All right. This next one kind of threw me. I have some questions about it, but this is Midnight Flight by Little Feat.
Yeah, speaking of, I was just talking about kind of throwback sounds, but Little Feat is literally a throwback band. They started in 1969, hit their stride in the early 70s. They broke up for a while, but three of the original band members, Bill Payne, Sam Clayton, and Kenny Gradney, are still with the band, and they're still making music. They've been kind of described in the same vein as like the Grateful Dead and sort of a jam band type thing. They've got a super loyal following. And I guess their concerts, like, a song like this would go on for 7-8 minutes, something like that, as all the instruments kind of play together. I've never seen them in concert, but, it could be interesting. But I just think it's fun that these guys are still making new music, and just really like this one because, again, if you kind of grew up or if you still listen to sort of your local classic rock station, this is kind of right in that genre and feel. So I think it's cool that these guys are still making music and it still fits fits the bill.
Yeah, I think that's what threw me is like how long, I looked at how long Little Feat's been around and then that they still have new music in 2025 is incredible. That's no little feat, if you will. Um, I should clarify, listeners, that's
Boy.
FEAT is a Little Feat.
Yeah, that's
So,
good. That's good.
yeah,
How
thank you.
long? I mean, how far into the show are we? And you've been sitting on that joke, just waiting to pounce.
I can check this one off of my long list of puns I'm ready to bring in at any moment. This song gave me really strong sitcom from the 90s opening theme song vibes, right? Like I can just imagine all the little cut scenes of the character like whipping their head around with a smile and all of that. Like,
Walking
it
in
could
the front
absolutely
door.
be the theme
Hey,
song.
what? There's a camera
Yes.
there?
100%. 100%.
That is great. That is great. All right, good stuff. Well, a more modern band, but one we haven't heard from in a while. Track 10, you've got Year of the Snake by Arcade Fire.
Yeah, Arcade Fire with new music, a new album coming out with a a very, very distinct album cover. I think we should maybe do a mix one day of like kind of our favorite album covers and actually just do that, right? Like we each pick 6 songs from our favorite album. Because this one it drew me off of that. It's like very pink. It's got like a red skull and there's like a fire on top. So very, very interesting. This is the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac, so it makes sense that there would be a song that they're singing about here, year of the snake, but a season of change, if you will. I think this is a very stereotypical Arcade Fire track. It has kind of that gentle build up in the track. And again, Arcade Fire is a band that I have listened to for many, many years, and I'm always curious like what direction they go. So it sounds like they're doing more of what they're very good at. And I am looking forward to the album. So just want to throw this one on here.
I love the lyrics in this one. The way they do in the year of the rabbit, I formed the habit. In the year of the snake, I made a clean break. I was kind of hoping they'd go through all the Chinese zodiac signs, but they kind of stopped. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was really well done too, as far as constructing that. Something tells me there are some like pages of lyrics somewhere where they made up other rhymes for the other years and then just decided to stop at a certain point. Like it just wouldn't work. But yeah, I thought this was really well done. And yes, kind of classic Arcade Fire, the way it builds up.
Awesome. All right. Your last pick, track number 11 on the mix. It is Please Don't Move to Melbourne by Ballpark Music.
Yeah, this was my favorite of my picks, which is why I left it to the end. Ballpark Music is an indie rock band from Australia. So we got to shout out our friend Tyler Jenke down there in Australia. This is from their 8th album called Like Love. And their sound reminded me of something like early REM. I think we used to refer to it as college rock. But I don't think college rock is a genre anymore. But once upon a time, like when there was kind of independent music, it was sort of called college rock. But yeah, I really can't wait to get into their other albums because I really enjoyed this so much. And I enjoyed this whole new album a lot. And further, the chorus just made me think of you, Sam, because it says, "Please don't leave me standing here in the hot, hot sun." And I thought how much you would hate that. And so I thought that was also fitting.
No, I loved it. Yeah, I loved the theme of this of like, as I talked about, you kind of grow up in an area and then many of your like friends leave and then you're left kind of being there being like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like especially after high school, right? And everyone's going off to different places to start college and I stayed in Austin for college, so I didn't have to move anywhere. And so I definitely kind of went through those feelings of just like, wait, well, don't move to Melbourne, like come back, like don't move to whatever, all these other places. So I really liked it from that. That kind of made me think about that part of my life. But yeah, really, really nice. Really, really nice song. I enjoyed this one a lot. I like the college rock. Should bring that back as a as a genre.
As a genre, yeah, we should bring that back. That would be a great mix, by the way, too. Just college rock as a genre.
It
All
would.
right, let's finish it up. Your last pick. You've got The Realm by Charlotte DeWitt.
Yes, so obviously no lyrics on this one, so we can't have any deep discussions about the lyrics. But I just wanted to include this because I am obsessed with Charlotte DeWitt lately. Like she has been producing these incredible mixes. I've gone through a phase where I actually watch like these DJ sets at these massive, EDM music festivals like Ultra and in Miami and across the world. And the set design for these things is so out of this world. You've got like this one tiny little human in front of a computer with this massive like setup behind them with these screens, and sometimes they're in front of castles, and it's truly insane, right? For essentially, as the SNL skit points out, for someone to just go and hit the play button, and like and then walk around. I love it. But she's so talented, and I really have been enjoying her stuff. Like, so I've been listening to these sets and watching them on YouTube, but mostly listening to them, and they're just a really great like genre of music if you just need to knock out some focused work and just kind of lose yourself to a beat going on in the background. And I think she does it in such a great way. So that's kind of how I've been listening to her music. But that might be like sacrilegious to someone that really enjoys trance and EDM for other purposes. But that's how I've been listening to it. And I really love it. And she's great, super talented. And she's a rising star in that space for sure.
Well, I said earlier, picking, Orbital for me was kind of a departure, because, this is not necessarily in my wheelhouse normally. And I will say at a certain point with this one, I was kind of like, all right, I'm probably done with this song.
Yeah.
I kind of hit my limit. Now I hear what you're saying because I get it from like a focused work standpoint. Like, yes, this could dial you in on focused work. I'm kind of interested to hear about the video presentation or like the videos that you're watching, because maybe the whole show would make me kind of appreciate this a little more. But as far as like in the mix, just like going from the previous track to this one and listening to it, I was like not as into it. I guess is the best way to put it. got to the point where I was like, But and so I think you're right. It's got to be in the right context.
Yes, I think that certain, like especially tracks like this, I'm thinking of Tool too. Like Tool has these like 9-minute long intros before they get into it, and like I saw them in concert, and it makes sense in concert because you're like, oh right, like there's all this intense visuals, and they're really trippy, and like they're doing stuff with lights in the space, and so it's this whole audio visual feast, if you will, versus like you're only getting half of the equation whenever you're only listening to the track. So I think there's something to be said for sure about the environment with EDM. This is also a moment for us to plug our new YouTube channel that we've been building up. If you're like, you know what, audio is just not doing it for me, I need more of Matt and Sam with something to look at. Be sure to check out our new YouTube channel at Super Awesome Mix is our channel name, of course. And you can find videos from this show, and we're putting on What Are You Listening To? And I also have like clips and episodes from Super Awesome You. So be sure to subscribe and follow us there because we're having a lot of fun on YouTube. It's been great.
Agreed. Yeah, that's been a really fun new way to get the material out there. I mean, we've been doing this for about 5 years. I mean, we're coming up probably, I think early next year, we'll hit our 200th episode. So pretty exciting. A lot of content out there. We thank you, listeners, for sticking with us all these years. If you want to reach out to us, tell us how great we're doing, or tell us what we could do better, hit us up at Super Awesome Mix. We're mostly on Instagram and Threads with that, but of course you can also go to our YouTube channel and check that out, like Sam said. So in the meantime, Sam and I will get to work on our next mix. So for Sam, this is Matt, and we'll see you next time. Super Awesome Mix is brought to you by DLM. Make shopping easy with DLM, the one-stop shop for all your casual clothing needs. Shop DLMsupplyco.com and enter the promo code AWESOME at checkout to save 15% off your first purchase. That's DLMsupplyco.com.